I just put up a filter for the sun because the sun's pretty bright there in the back. So I'll see and I hope this works out a little bit better. So let's continue. Verse 17. And I promise that I will bring you up out of the affliction of Egypt to the land of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, a land flowing with milk and honey. Right? Always like it's reminds me always like Asterix and Obelix, the phonics of the people, cacophonics and Asterix and Obelix. The X is there in the end of the names. They all have the same. So like here you all have it's like in Russia off or in ending of surnames kind of. Right, that is as well. Surnames kind of end in that way. Okay, if it's a ski, then it's a Polish kind of idea surname. So yes, we can look sometimes surnames and know where people come from. But here, why I'm speaking about this because they all like say, ites. So Amorites, Perizzites, Hittites, Hivites, Jebusites. Lots of ites here. Okay, put the M in there and then they're like mites. Anyhow, that's a little trying to be. Trying to make a joke here kind of idea, but I think it's falling down. Whatever, not the best comedian out there, especially not in our culture. Our culture is not very good at these kinds of comedy or jokes. A little bit different, more storytelling kind of jokes. But anyhow, that's about to just learn a little bit about my culture as well, and different cultures, right? So God is saying, I promise you that I will bring you out. Right, I saw what happened to you, and I'm promising. So there's a victory monument here, right? There's you will come. He gave the sign to Moses earlier. You'll come. The sign is you'll come and you'll worship me on this mountain, right? It's like here is a victory monument. It shows the victory that happened after the fact. But in that case, it is not. They're not out. They're still as slaves, slaving off there in Egypt. And God is saying, but this is a sign I'm giving you. There's a victory monument here. But there was no battle even yet, right? Why? Because God saw, God's going to do. God will bring them out. So God will bring them out of this land of affliction and take them to the land of Canaan ultimately, the land that He promised, because He's a God of Abraham. And since His word is eternal, since His name is eternal, His word, His promises stand, and He promised Abraham, and so all of these things will happen. So this, for the original hearers there in Egypt, slaving under Pharaoh, suffering so much, it would have been great news to hear. But at the same time, I don't think they believe that there will be ever a victory monument, right? And the other thing is, so for the regional readers, okay, God has promised, this is the name of God, God's name stands for eternity, God promised, God will keep His word. And again, like I said, it would have been super difficult for them to believe it, because they were suffering at that stage, right? But yes, and for the people hearing this, not the first original hearers, but the readers of this, so those in the desert on the way to the promised land, Canaan, that is, it would have been great news to them. I mean, this is God promised. They can now look back at, they were in Egypt when these words are said the first time. Now they're not in Egypt anymore. They're in a desert outside of Egypt. God defeated Pharaoh and his crack army, right? The guys in the chariot. That was like the tanks of the day kind of idea, or maybe even the atomic bombs of the day idea. Right? God defeated them, and they are ready. And that sign, there is now a victory monument. As God promised, the sign that God promised, He kept. He gave the sign before the fact, and now the sign is fulfilled. So therefore, this part of their going to the promised land will be fulfilled as well, although they're not there yet, although they're dying here in the desert. Now, most likely, they were writing this down. Moses was writing this down after they got to the promised land, and to the Jordan at least, and did not enter because of the sin, right? After sitting out, and then they were struggling around there in the desert, in the wilderness, for the extra 38 years that was not planned on. And so most likely it was written down that time. So again, for them, they can look back and they can, yes, we failed, but God is not going to fail. God will keep His promise. His name is eternal. He gave the sign. He kept it. We came here. We've seen it fulfilled. So we have this victory monument. We know God will keep his promise. So it would have given them strength to continue as well on their journey. Yeah, I've spoken a lot about already the idea of land flowing with milk and honey. I don't think I need to speak about that. You can listen to the other videos.